What's up, leets and geeks? You know, most people want to improve in some way, shape, or form, but they don't. Very few do. Now, why is that? Well, boil it down to three things: fear, frustration, false beliefs. In this series on the RPG Elite Philosophy for Life, I'm going to show you how to get over those. So we've got quite a bit to go over. Let's do this. Well, y'all know what time it is. It's the first Tuesday of the month, and that means it is time for our RPG Elite Philosophy for Life series. Now, if you're new to the channel, normally what we do here is we talk about all things tabletop RPGs, and this is kind of similar, except what we've done is we've taken the proprietary RPG Elite philosophy. I've done about 40 videos on that, and we have gone deeper. And we are now applying this to our life. It's because all of those things can be applied to our life. That's the foundation of it, really. And when you apply it to your life, man, it's just going to change things. And we're on RPG Elite quality number 10. RPG Elites are always striving to be better. When it comes to tabletop RPGs, this could be striving to be better at our high-level role-playing, medium-level role-playing, taking notes, teamwork, getting more familiar with the games, just being a social blessing at the table. All of those things you can get better at. But when it comes to life, I mean, good googly moogly, I mean, pick one. There's so many. And so what we're going to do here today is we're going to look at the first of those three that I just gave you, fear. We're actually going to list 4 different kinds of fear. And then we're going to tell you how they can stagnate your life, or really how they might be doing that right now. But we're also going to give you a solution and how to overcome all of these different types of fear. And we're going to have a video for every one of those, which is why it's going to be multiple videos. So let's do this like Brutus, because you always knew this, and roll that transition. Now, fear of failure makes it so you avoid taking any action unless you think it's going to succeed. There's a guarantee of success, which there isn't, by the way, because we live in this world. But anyway, there has to be some kind of guarantee in order for you to take actions. And so many times, some people, they will overplan. They will do something to death so they can make sure that they don't fail. Like, for example, when people, they say, oh, I want to write a novel, or I've written a novel, but no, it's not done, you know, and I've been on this novel for, you know, been writing this novel for 2 years, as if that's some kind of altruistic kind of virtuous thing. Okay, all that means is that you just don't finish stuff. And the underlying foundation of the reason why you don't finish it is a fear of failure. So you just don't go into it. You just don't do it. You just keep fooling yourself into thinking that, well, if I just do a little bit more, I'll do a little bit more. So really what I'm saying here is perfectionism is a actual expression of fear. And some people might think that that's a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Or you may be one of those people that just define yourself by your mistakes, and now you're just afraid to take any action at all. All right, well, that's not good. And so it stagnates you, and it keeps you in that place because of this fear of failure. So with this one, you stagnate your own creativity and ambition because of criticism or possible criticism that may come your way. You're letting them make decisions for you in your life, and so you just end up being mediocre, even though you want to be exceptional. But it's like my man Alex Hormozy says. He says, everybody wants to be exceptional without being the exception. Okay, it doesn't work like that. You have to put yourself out there. But because of these ideas of, oh man, this fear of judgment, I don't want people to criticize me. So, what do you want? You're letting them make decisions for you. Oh, okay, I'll do it like that. And even though it might not be that directly, It's like that indirectly. And so that automatically doesn't even take you in the direction that you want to go, because you're just sitting up there trying to be a people pleaser. Okay, well that does not help you. It doesn't help you get better. And when you're not getting better, how are you going to help somebody else? Yeah, that's how that works. So you just stay as a tool for somebody else, and you don't live life. You just let other people live your life. So with this one, what happens is that you stay with what's comfortable and what's familiar, even though you can see this is clearly not working, right? Clearly this is not working, but that's where you stay. And that's the reason why you stay in bad habits. Bad habits are routine are familiar to you. And so you just continue to stay there just because it's comfortable. So you resist that transformation. You resist it. Oh man, you know, I like it here. Now, sometimes that's as a result of being lazy or hedonistic or both, but not all the time. Sometimes it's a fear of change. This is going to just keep you in that bad place and will take you down a spiral. This one is going to get worse and worse and worse. It'll have a net negative effect on your life and will continue to compound as you continue to let it go. A fear of the unknown. So it just keeps you in a perpetual place of inaction because you're not certain what's going to happen. And so you live in this way of always waiting for the perfect moment. Is this the moment? Is everything going to work out? Like, okay, is this certain? It never comes. It never comes. It's like people who like to write novels, right? They're waiting for their muse. All right, well, that's the reason why you didn't finish the novel. You didn't finish the novel because that's what you're doing. And you will never finish that novel because the muse never comes. Always living in a reactive way, not a proactive way. And so you just live again in this state of perpetual inaction. You don't do the thing because you're afraid of what is on the other side. And since you don't know what's on the other side, it's a lot safer just to do nothing. Or is it? If you are a glass half full kind of person instead of a glass half empty, then you're saying, okay, I failed. But you're looking at failure differently. You're reframing it. Because let's knock this out of the park right now. Failure is a necessity in order for you to succeed. So you will fail. Now, this is important to understand because if you know at the outset that this is the expectation, that the expectation is that you will fail, when it happens, it's not going to come to you as a surprise. You're not going to get your emotions all up in the hackles because oh my gosh, I failed. Yeah. If you expect to fail, then this is just normal. And then when you look at failure differently, when you look at it as glass half full, then you're saying, okay, well, this is something that is going to help me get to the place I want to go. I just know how not to do this. Like Thomas Edison, what did he say? He said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways on how not to do something. And so that's how you have to do it with failure. Reframe it. It's part of the process. It's a necessity. You should expect it. Well, then that's different. That's totally different. I love this quote from Michael Jordan. It's one of his best quotes, I think. Listen to this. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. That's what this is all about. And in that process, you're going to fail. And that's fine. But you're going to fail your way upward. You're going to fail your way forward. That's how you get to success. And that's how you make failure a non-issue. Okay, this one here I'm good at, but that is because my personality is wired at it. I've always been good at this one, right? But let's knock this out of the park too, okay? Number one, you always have haters. People will always judge you. We got this thing today, be like, no judgment. Liar. There's always judgment. All of the time. 24/7, everybody's making judgments. Everybody's making judgments about other people. Always, all of the time. I got people making judgments about me, false or otherwise, on this channel. They tell me in the comments all of the time. Okay, so how does that affect me? Answer, doesn't. You will always have haters. This is real world. You will always have haters. You especially will if you put yourself out there. Having a YouTube channel like this and putting myself out there, yeah, there will be haters. There always will be. You cannot avoid that. All right, so how do I do this? How do I get over this fear? Oh, it's simple, y'all. You anchor yourself to purpose, not popularity. You know, for me, this is how I think about it. Listen, people who like to do that stuff, they're less than zero in terms of importance in my life. They're like the hair on the crack of my behind. I mean, I know they're there. I just don't think about them. They're not that important. So don't make somebody more important than they need to be. They're not living your life. You are. So you make the decisions. That's how that works. You make the decision. Ask this question. How important will their opinion or criticism, how important will that be in 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years? Not at all? Move on. Because it ain't that important, apparently. So anchor yourself to purpose, not popularity. I actually like saying it like this. Purpose is what gets you through when popularity is non-existent. Like something like this right here, YouTube. I would have quit long ago. When I first started, didn't nobody care about what I was saying. Nobody cared. Nobody listened. Still to this day, I don't get a whole lot of views on my videos. So why do I do this? Purpose. Because I believe what I'm doing is important. And I keep doing it. And I keep pressing on. One video may pop off. Another video may pop off. I've had a couple of those. But I keep doing it because I'm not doing this whether you like me or not. I couldn't care less whether you like me or not. Because my purpose is more important than popularity. There you go. So people who are afraid of change, they look at it and be like, this feels risky. Okay, it's always risky. It's always risky. But a lot of times it's thinking that you have arrived. There's a little bit of pride and narcissism in that statement, because if you're afraid of change, what you're really saying is that you've arrived and you don't need to change. Now, nobody's asking you to jump over a tall building in a single bound, for crying out loud. You just do it in small steps, right? Just jump over the curb first. This is what this whole video is about. 1%. That's it. So focus on the small things, like that old adage. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So just focus on what you can do right now. Focus on changing that one thing. Sometimes we take on too much. We try to change 5 million things at the same time. Just focus on the one thing and focus on the small change. And that will compound. Because one thing is for sure, 0% always stays there, but 1% will compound. So what are you going to do? Change something. change the routine, change a little process, tweak as you go, change. And trust me, consistent small changes will in the long run become a huge change to your life. In order to overcome this, just like all the rest of them, you have to face it. But the way you face this is that you have to enter into the unknown. Why? Because once you enter into the unknown, guess what? It's no longer unknown. And now that disappears. And you just keep entering into the unknown until you know it. You repeat this process because repetition destroys intimidation. So If you want to go in to something and you're not sure, okay, well, when you got hired, your employer wasn't sure that you were going to work out. They had to enter into the unknown. They don't know you from Adam. They don't know whether you lied on your resume. They don't know none of that stuff. They had to enter into the unknown, and you had to enter into the unknown. I don't know nothing about this company. I know very little about this company. I don't know the people here. I don't know, but you enter into it all of the time. We enter into the unknown every single day because we have to live by faith. All of us have to. So don't let what could happen make it so that nothing happens. Could, if, it's like my mom used to say, coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. And that's normally where you end up. And so enter into that thing. Just enter into it. Like I said, repetition kills intimidation. And so once you keep doing the thing over and over, you don't even think about it. The unknown doesn't even become part of the equation. You just do it. You just get it done. 4 different types of fear, how they stagnate you, how to get over them so you can get 1% better. This is what this is about, folks. It's about getting better, striving to be better. Unless you're a narcissist, of course, and don't think that you need to get better and that you're just perfect the way that you are, then you have another problem altogether. All right. Hey, if you got any value out of this video at all, then could you do me a solid and just crush that like button? Also, if you're digging these videos, I'll come out with videos every Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, but I also come out with other things during the week. And if you don't want to miss any of those things, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, because that's how we do it here. And you don't want to miss this stuff. So hit that bad boy. All right, let's get to the question of the vid. Now, I've laid out for you here in this video 4 different types of fear. I want you to answer a question for me. If you feel comfortable answering this question, which of these 4 do you have the most problem with in your life? It could be like right now. Maybe before it was something else, but like right now. Or maybe this has been something that's been going on for a while. Which of these 4 do you have the most problem with? And if you want to go ahead and add, now that you have these solutions, because you can't get around not facing these, what are you going to do about it? Let's get it started, y'all. Down in the comments below, I want to see this. I love watching comments for these videos. I love reading these because I love this stuff. Because again, this is a purpose for what this channel is here for, why it exists. It's to help people, not only in tabletop RPGs, but beyond that. And, you know, because life is a tabletop RPG, to be quite honest. All right, that'll do it for me. That means that it's time for me to do my snaggle push.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, if you've got a game going on this week, y'all, happy gaming. I pray it is an RPG Elite session. In the meantime, between time, watch this video right here. And until next time, God willing, you know what time it is. Your boy serving. I gots to go. Peace. 5,000 leaks. I am gone.